Thank you for your interest in getting married in one of our 4 churches. As you may be already aware, we have 4 churches within the group, or the benefice. There's Salcombe here, then a couple miles up the road there's Malborough, then further on from that there's Galton, and then finally there's the little chapel at Hope Cove in Inner Hope. My name's Daniel French, and I'm one of the clergy in the ministry team. I act as the vicar overseeing the local churches here. If you haven't already, we invite you to fill in the application form, which you can get from the office, or if you want to download from our website, it's available as a Word document. And if you could fill all that in, then we'll be able to set up an interview with you. Even if you're able just to fill half of it up and you want to kind of walk through that with us, then that's perfectly fine. Generally, I've tended to meet people about 3 times. By that, I actually mean about 6, if you include the wedding, a rehearsal, and also during the course of the time before the wedding, we have something called marriage preparation, where we take about a dozen or so couples, usually here actually in the upper room in Salcombe, and we have some time of reflection and some talks given by a couple who've been married over 50 years, myself and other clergy. It's not therapy, it's more philosophy of marriage. It's thinking about what support and relationship can and could mean. So aside from that, you'd meet myself or one of my colleagues about at least twice, firstly for an initial interview, and then secondly to look at the service itself. And then lastly, if we can, we try to get a sort of catch-up meeting a few weeks before the wedding, just to see how things are going in terms of preparations, because there's a lot to be done in preparing a wedding. For most people, unless you're involved in events managing or vicaring, putting together a wedding service has got to be one of the biggest things that you're going to do in gathering people together. So it's a head spin, and I hope you'll find that in us in the local churches, we're there to try to help and guide you through, at the very least, the hour or so that you'll have with us in church celebrating holy matrimony. And, however, in that respect, we're not wedding planners, and much of the work we have to kind of put back into use, and making some of those contacts with bell ringers, the organist, the choir, flower arranging people. We'd like to ensure that's very much your side of the arrangements, though we'll keep an eye to see that boxes are being ticked. So do make contact. Do fill in the form. The initial meeting will just go over some of the basics of the wedding service, the legal requirements, what it means to have a qualifying connection here, what are the basics that we need. Like, for instance, for any wedding needs to have the bride, the groom present, the minister and 2 witnesses. It can be any 2 adult people, but we have to have those 5 people to have the basis of a wedding service. We can't do it by proxy, or can't do it legally without witnesses. And also what it means in terms of, if you don't qualify for residency, what are the other options outside the normal bounds of marriage route. So do set up an appointment. Feel free to email us, ask any questions. And also, people have found very useful, the Church of England has a wedding website called yourchurchwedding.org. Do have a look at that. There's a really good frequently asked questions page, and there's lots of good introductory material to what a wedding in the Church of England, what a wedding service looks like and feels. Thank you very much, and we look forward to meeting you and celebrating, God willing, your wedding.